The ancient city of Abeokuta was agog with a lot of pomp and pageantry as kings, queens, royal fathers and mothers, chiefs, traditional title holders, illustrious sons and daughters of Egbaland, family members, friends and relatives of the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, His Royal Majesty Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo Cfr Okukenu IV, celebrated his 15th Coronation Anniversary. It was indeed a day to remember in the history of Egbaland. Giving honor to whom honor is due, the paramount ruler showcased it by reverencing the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, God Almighty, in a Thanksgiving service with his wife, the Queen, Dr. Adedotun Gbadebo, and the creme de la creme in the society. As praises and thanksgiving went up to the heavenlies, the word of God was ministered to all and sundry of varying faiths, who, for the love of the king, joined him in the thanksgiving service at the Cathedral of St. Peter, Ake, Abeokuta, Ogun State.
Samuel came and said, I am coming for a sacrifice. 7 sons came out and they had even forgotten to bring the last one. We thank God because in being king, God chose you out of all the others. Other people wanted to be. But for this time, for this place, for this generation, the Lord chose you. And we thank God that God has chosen a man after his own heart.
This gathering indeed proves how endearing the king is, as people celebrate the success of the king whose charm and personality draws them to him. The Egba people have enjoyed the rulership of dutiful kings from 1845 when Alake Shomoye mounted the throne till date. Today, the people are blessed with an Alake whose wealth of knowledge and wisdom, intellectual capacity and leadership qualities have brought wealth, honor and respect to the people of Egbaland. Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo was born on the 14th day of September 1943 into the Larun ruling house. He is the grandson of the 6th Alake of Egbaland, Oba Gbadebo, who ruled from 1898 to 1920, and a nephew to Oba Gbadebo II. He attended the Baptist Boys High School in Abeokuta and Ibadan Grammar School, then went to the University of Ibadan in the year 1965, obtaining a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1969. He joined the army and attended the Command and Staff College Jaji in Kaduna State in September 1978 to August 1979. He eventually became a Principal Staff Officer to Major General Tunde Idiagbon, the then Chief of Staff at the Supreme Headquarters, Dodon Barracks from 1984 to September 1985. He left the military as a colonel retired by the Babangida regime. He felt no defeat as his military career was short-lived, but he ventured into business and became a successful businessman. In the year 2005, August precisely, he was chosen by God and installed as the present king of Egbaland amidst many contenders. Egba Ake, also known as Egba Alake, is the traditional residence of the Alake. It is seen by traditionalists as Abeokuta's aristocracy due to the fact that its principal noblemen, the Omo Yamaru, serve as the kingmakers of Alake, who must come from Egba Ake. Egba Ake is one of the 5 sections of Egbaland, the others being Okukenu, Gbagura, Owu, and Ibara.
All princes in Egbaland are called Oba or Obalona, that is king tomorrow. But many of them will never make it, and they know, because they are calling one Oba at a single time. And unless one Oba joins his ancestors, another Oba cannot come in. So nobody can beat his chest and say, as a young man, you will become another king. Somebody who has been chosen already by God, and they choose. It is not for them to determine who becomes an Oba. Like in 2005, August 28, I arrived in Abeokuta for the installation as the Alake of Egbaland, the 10th Alake of Egbaland. My great-grandfather having been the first, my grandfather was the 6th, my uncle was the 8th, and I'm the 10th. I thank God for this.
Abeokuta, refuge among rocks, capital of Ogun State, southwestern Nigeria, is the home of the Egba people. The Egba nation was once a colony under the old Oyo Empire, but was liberated by Lishabi Ogbongo Akala, who led the Egba nation in an uprising, defeating the army of the Oyo Empire, thereby becoming a free state. However, due to unrest from Ibadan and Dahomey slave hunters, the Egba people migrated under the directive of the Ifa Oracle, led by Chief Shodeke between 1825 and 1830. They migrated westward to a massive outcrop of granite rock called Olumo, that is, Oluwafimo, meaning God has put an end to our wandering. However, Lamodi, an Egba warrior who was the initiator of this move, died on the way and did not enter the promised land. Olumo Rock became the greatest strength and pillar of the Egba people, which served as a protective shield against their enemies. Settling themselves into a confederacy of distinct groups in the surrounding areas around the rock, they named themselves the people from under the rock, Abeokuta. Thus, the city of Abeokuta was born, located on the Ogun River, 75 kilometers north of Lagos and 70 kilometers from the ancient city of Ibadan. Abeokuta became the seat of the Egba United Government during and after the Yoruba Civil War in 1893. The Egba nation had a well-structured and organized political framework, from the Alake, paramount ruler, who assumes the title of Alake of Egbaland, who also serves as the chairman of the Egba kings, protecting the interests of the Egba kingdom and the people as the paramount ruler and custodian of the Egba cultural heritage and tradition. The Ogbonis, who make up the Senate, constitutes the executive council in the administration of the state. The Ologuns are in charge of war, defending the territory of the Egba people, and they also execute wars. The Parakois, who are the commercial chiefs, dominate the economic sector, while the Olodes, who are the hunting chiefs, look after the affairs of farming and hunting, while a woman is usually included as a chief in each group, emphasizing the respect for women in the Egba culture. This political structure was maintained until 1914, when the North and South Protectorate were amalgamated to form the Federal Republic of Nigeria. However, the Egba nation still maintains its political structure, operating as a nation under the Federal Republic of Nigeria till date.
The Egba people are the people who are named after the way they look at life. The Egbanians accept them, bring them in, receive them. So we are number one in hospitality in Nigeria. And the same way we received the missionaries when they came in 1843, the same way we signed the Treaty of Friendship with the British as two separate nations in 1893, which treaty Lord Lugard singularly abrogated because he was a good soldier but a bad administrator. He didn't recognize that what it took two countries to put together, a single servant of one of the countries has no right to abrogate. The Egbas live in the southwest part of Yorubaland. We border Lagos, Remo, Ijebu, Oyo, Ibarapa, Egbaland to the east. We occupy at the moment just a fraction of what we used to occupy in the past, having lost out a good chunk of Egbaland to to what is now known as Oyo State. That was during the Yoruba intertribal wars. They are the first to come in contact with the Western civilization. The first hospital is here in Abeokuta. The first secondary school, of course, the first primary, the first secondary, the first grand school started here. In 1859, it was taken to Lagos. The first hospital was built here by the Catholic Church in 1895. The first medical doctor, the first engineer, the first in various professions have been Egba sons and daughters. The first woman to drive a car was the mother of Royal Majesty. Can go on and on and on. So those are people called Egba. The traditions are very many, but the major one that gives us that identity is our language. People say it is musical. So when you look at so many musicians all over Nigeria, you find that the Egbas are always top in many areas, many genres of music that you have around. The last grandfather, Reverend J.J. Rasokuti, was a great musicologist. The last father, Reverend I. Rasokuti, was also one. And of course, Fela, you know. Look at Yusuf Olatuji, Ebenezer Obey, is a living legend. Aina Mawura is there. Shino Peters can go on and on and on. They're all from here. Our language is musical and we speak very, very good Yoruba. So we have certain values that we take very dearly, and that is that at all times we must speak the truth. We teach this to our children from the moment they are born. We teach also respect for elders to our children. We teach the need to support yourself to ensure that you have the means of livelihood, because we believe that anybody who has not worked or who does not work does not deserve to eat. We have our pride in being able to stand on your own, even though the extended family system works very well in Egbaland. We support ourselves.
As a result of its strategic location, Abeokuta attracted missionaries, and as such, the first church in Nigeria, the Cathedral of St. Peter Ake, Abeokuta, was built. The Yoruba language was also first documented in Abeokuta, with the birth of the first newspaper in 1820s, Iwe Iroyin, which exists till date. It is reported to be the city of the tie and dye industry in Nigeria. The city of adire making and marketing is in Itoku Market at Kenta. It is a town known for many firsts, as rightly said by the Alake. It has also produced illustrious sons and daughters who have and are bringing honor to Nigeria, amongst whom are Chief Akintola Williams, Princess Kufuriji Olubi, Madam Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, late Chief MKO Abiola, late Chief Simon Adebo, Chief Ernest Shonekon, Professor Olikoye Ransom Kuti, Nobel Laureate Wole Soyinka, Sir Adedotun Ademola, Mudashiru Lawal, Madam Tinubu, Chief Bola Ajibola, Sir Jimishola Nke, Ebenezer Obey, Odunlade Adekola, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, Dr. Tunde Bakare, Chief Bisoye Tejosho, Chief Frederick Rotimi Williams, amongst others. As the custodian of the culture and traditional heritage of Egbaland, the Alake plans on opening a museum in the palace, displaying the rich cultural heritage of the Egba people, making Abeokuta a tourist site for tourism.
I promoted the business of tourism because we are major tourist attraction in Nigeria in Abeokuta here, ranging from the Oluma Rock, which is a 20-story structure built by God. You come from the bottom and you go right to the top and see the whole of Egbaland virtually. Or you go to the only residential library in Africa, built by the great president of Nigeria, one of the greatest so far, President Olusegun Obasanjo. Or you want to see the first church in Nigeria, in Alake here, and oldest Bible in Nigeria in the palace here. There are so many things to see in Egbaland. The Adire market, Adire Mall in Itoku, which is one thing that visitors to Abeokuta always want to buy and take back to their loved ones. I promoted the 18-hole golf course rally in Abeokuta so that visitors, tourists could have somewhere to relax. And of course, I supported various hotels and restaurants and eateries that are all over Abeokuta. We have a place like the Centenary Hall, which I met in ruins, but with the support of great Egbasons. It was repaired and done up so that the 90-year structure has no single crack till now. Continue to be a major attraction to tourists. Well, my major contribution has been to enhance the position of the Alake.
In his 15 years on the throne, the Alake admits that he has been challenged in areas he did not envisage.
I thought that governments would be my easiest allies, that having been in the army and having served up to the highest seat of governance, the rural barracks, that state governments would be my allies. But it didn't work out that way because we had different things we were looking out for. So my first challenge came from the government of Egbaland, the very government that approved my candidature in 2005. 3 years after, I criticized the Abeokuta roads have been very bad. Having talked to the governor quietly a couple of times about the same roads. And then the next thing was that he said, since I had joined the group of those who criticized him, that he must meet fire with fire. And so that started, 2-3 weeks of Alake and governor.
Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo is blessed with his amiable Olori, Dr. Olatokunbo Gbadebo, a PhD holder in French, and he's also blessed with children and grandchildren.
Well, I have no cause to not to like polygamy. I have no cause not to like it because if my grandfather had not been polygamous, my father would not have been born. Because my grandfather had 25 wives and 52 children. And my father's mother was not among the first couple of wives at all. So, but in my own case, those times are gone. We call those people old school. They belong to the old school. I will have more time to do my work if I don't have domestic borders in the balance. If I don't have so many things to think about that are totally relevant to my performance as an Alake. And so that's why I am lucky that I have remained monogamous. The first Alake to do so.
His fatherly demeanor makes him accessible to all and sundry. This was showcased during my interview with him as this student walked in to present a portrait she made of the king. I was also opportune to join him at the golf course, a game he truly enjoys and supports, which keeps him fit even at age 77.
Well, I started doing it seriously 15 years ago when I got to Abeokuta. Before then, I only went for a few lessons at the club. I didn't take it seriously. I thought I was still young. I could play squash, so I was playing squash. But here, this one you can play alone. I'm playing alone because every hole has the number of times you are supposed to play the ball. It could be par 3, par 4, par 5. If you do it less than what they give you, you have done very well. If you do it same time as you have been given, you are very much okay. If you cannot make it and you are doing 4, 6 times, you are kicking 6 times instead of 4, you are not doing well enough. But you can come back and back and back again, put the same ball on the same spot and try it. And my eyes must be on the ball all the time. Eyes on the ball. If I look to where the ball is going, I will miss hitting it here. So I must concentrate on that ball. I must hit the ball in the direction that I want. I've already placed my shoulder, my right shoulder, left shoulder should be on the same line with where I'm going. But just swing, and it goes there.
As the Alake celebrates his 15 years on the throne, he has this to say.
Yes, I would have missed a lot if I had not spent 16 years in the army. Because of all professions, the army pays greater emphasis on leadership training than any other profession, head of or scene. It is in the army that you are taught to take care of the ordinary soldier after a route march, after an exercise, to ensure that he's comfortable, he's able to get a meal before you go to your mess. You have your own meal. So, without soldier, as an officer, you are a nobody. And the same way, because loyalty is a two-way system. The way you are loyal to them, they too are very loyal to you. That's where, and what has guided me in the last 15 years. That if I show love to my people, they pay me back with so much love. If I take them first before I take myself, they will take me first before they take themselves. And it has worked very, very well. I enjoy being in harmony with my people. In every facet of life in the last 15 years.
Everyone who came to celebrate the king were treated like royals, no matter the class or creed, as they all had enough to eat and drink in honor of the king. He is the king who came, who saw, and who has successfully made his mark in the hearts of the people. His name will definitely be written in the chronicles of the great kings of Egbaland. Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo Cfr, Okukenu IV, Kadeko Pelori, Kibata Pelese, Igba Odun Kan, Kábíyèsí o.
I thank God for using me to serve